So to start this video off, I did put Benji in a sit. The reason in which I did this is to control his arousal levels before we do start the training, because if you do start the session on a point in which he is excited, it can result in him not being interested in what you're teaching him, and he's too obsessed with the surroundings that's going on to concentrate. So here what I'm doing is using a fence to create the correct position of heel, because as you can see what's just happened, he does find it hard, being his breed, to walk completely by the side, as it is natural instinct to walk in circles. So what the fence is doing is creating a barrier between yourself and him to be able to help him naturally correct himself without using tugs of the lead or any other aversive methods.
So the next step is rewarding him when he is in the position that is appropriate. So as you can see there, what just happened, he positioned himself completely next to my left leg, and at that point I reward him with either a yes or a click on the clicker to show him that that is the position he needs to be in. So what I'm teaching here is to not want to say hello to everybody and teach him that it's not always appropriate. However, when he does meet new people, I'm also teaching him that it needs to be in a very controlled way. There's no jumping up. He needs to wait until the person wants to say hello to him, and then he gets his fusses. And we move on like normal. So what just happened there is he's pulling out in front too much again, so I'm changing direction by teaching him that when he does do that, we're not going to go to the place that he wants to. This method teaches him to naturally begin to move himself back into the correct position rather than us doing it for him. And again here we're practicing correct greetings. Followed by some more heel work correction. So here we're about to practice a stay. The way in which I've been teaching him this is by first of all only moving a step back using the command stay. As long as he does stay in the same position and holds eye contact, you reward him. You can then begin to take more steps back. However, if he does move, put him back into the same position and start from the beginning. Here he's doing really well in his stay and is not tempted by the person walking around or jumping up, therefore he is rewarded by some more praise. What I'm doing here is basically off lead heel work. It is pretty much the same when you're on the lead. You have to use a lure to move him into the right place with this, because otherwise he can wander. What I also do is get him into a sit if he moves too far, because this brings his arousal levels back down low and he becomes less excited again. So here he's moved too far out in front again, so I'm going to get him into a sit. And off we go again. Here is another way of practicing recall and disencouraging the jumping up by putting him into a sit immediately when he does come. It's important as well to practice greetings off lead, because what you can find sometimes is that when they are off the lead, their arousal levels get high because they feel like they are a lot more free and you don't have so much control over them. Therefore, they still need to keep their manners and continue with the behaviour that is expected. Here as well, he is doing a down, which he has also recently learned. So here we are working a bit more on his arousal levels and self-control by keeping him in a stay whilst there is a jogger around, because what you can find happens is that the jogging is something that gets them more excited and they can revert back to behaviour that you don't want, so it's important to practice in every situation. Here again we are practicing heel work. So what we're doing now is practicing everything that I have just gone through with you. However, we are not using treats. It's important to have a point at the end of each training session to not use treats, because otherwise they can become more reliant on them and you'll find that they do not do the behaviours unless there is food involved, and this is not something you want. Here again we are practicing walking past people and learning to ignore them. So if he does show interest in the person that is oncoming, I do say a firm leave it and continue to walk on. You do not want to tug the lead at this point because we want all behaviours to be voluntary. It's important to remember that even though your dog may do the behaviours you want in one location, you must retrain them wherever you go, which is why it's important to practice from the starting point in every new place that you do go to. Benji does learn to be handled by different people so that he can build in trust in strangers and also understand that it's not a behaviour that you want only for you, it's a behaviour that is expected from him at all times. You can also get help from other people when you do this by encouraging them to go in a different place and calling them at the same time. This teaches your dog to be called away from things that might be exciting to them, or in situations where there might be a stranger in the park that in the unfortunate event is interested in your dog with not very good intentions. So it's really good to keep them safe.